Stepped in wave, brown no chase, fresh to grave. I stay brave, drip on rain, live maintain.
Yes, people, it's me again. Welcome to my channel, Just Unplug. If this is your first time, make sure you smash the subscribe button and make sure you drop a like for me, people. It will greatly help my channel out there. Please, people. Yeah, I just want to say a quick thank you for my recent video that I released, which is a reaction video we're going to do again. Yeah? And I say yay? No, fortunately not. But yes, people, without waffling too much, let's get cracking today. I got another special reaction video for you guys. I know you guys have seen, obviously, on social media, Kanye West doing a madness. So we're gonna check out one of his recent videos from Fox News, and then yeah, let me know what you guys think about his thoughts and what he has to say during the interview from Fox News. Yeah, yes, people, let's get right into it. Yeah, and also yeah, I just want to say thank you for the 800 views or 700 views on my recent video as well. Yeah, I just want to say a quick thank you for that. You guys are completely smashing it. The likes is just, I can't thank you guys enough. Yeah, so yeah, let's jump into the video. So obviously he's been interviewed by Tucker Carlson. Hope I haven't butchered his last name. So yeah, we're gonna jump into the interview and then let's see what Kanye has to say. Yeah.
Become a celebrated and very highly paid fashion designer. And of course, for a decade, he was well known to TV audiences as an in-law of the Kardashian family. But it's West's latest incarnation as a kind of Christian evangelist that brought us to his office in Los Angeles today for the interview you're about to see. Days ago, during Fashion Week in Paris, West, accompanied by his friend Candace Owens, unveiled a t-shirt that read simply,
my initial thought when I first saw this on social media, I was just, you know those things that you just like, that's Kanye. You can't argue with that. You just accept it. I think I'm getting to a stage where I just accept that's Kanye, and I feel like that's what everyone should do as well. Just accept who he is as a person. You know, some people are just more weird than others, so it is what it is. My initial reaction when I first saw this, I was like, okay, what's this about? Because obviously, as everyone knows on this earth, if you live on this earth, know every lives matter. It could be a cat, dog, fish, plant, whatever. Every lives matter. But why does he need to do something like this? Yes, I think 4 years ago we had a situation where Floyd was murdered by a cop in the States. So obviously that's where a lot of emotions were triggered, and obviously there's past history of situations that has happened in the States. So I think all those emotions kind of clicked off that, and yeah, so it became a really big thing globally, I would say. You know, especially in the UK as well, we kind of protested Black Lives Matter and to support the death of Floyd as well. So I think what Kanye is doing here is not right, but I feel like he's doing this for a purpose, because if you look in the music industries, if you look in many industries, they do things like this to get a reaction, social media reaction, just to, you know, sell the product, sell whatever is coming up. It could be a year from now, it could be 6 months from now, who knows? But I know definitely Kanye is behind something.
simply white lives matter. The response from the fashion industry and international media was instantaneous and uniform. Shock, horror, rage. There is no excuse for this, thundered the New York Times. West is legitimizing extremism, shrieked Rolling Stone, etc., etc. What was strikingly missing from the coverage, however, was any explanation for why West did this. What was the t-shirt about? No one seemed to think to ask him, much less to listen to what he had to say. Instead, the enemies of his ideas dismissed West, as they have for years, as mentally ill. Too crazy to take seriously. Look away, ignore him. He's a mental patient. There's nothing to see here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is Kanye. You can't get that side of him. And some people may say he has mental mental illness. Some people say he's a Gemini, that's his star sign. If you know Geminis, if you have Gemini friends, if you have Gemini whatever, you know, parents, whatever it is, you know their behavior is a bit off the line sometimes. So some people go off by that. But I feel like this is Kanye. You know, I myself do weird things. It is what it is, innit? And I also feel like he's just a confident man, you know? When you're just super confident, you're a billionaire. Let's not forget that. If you have billionaire status, he's gonna tell you, you know? He's going to tell you off if you have billionaire status. It's like me going to Michael Jackson, R.I.P. Michael Jackson, rest in peace. Or it's like me going to LeBron James, saying, yo, fix up. He's probably gonna look at me like, who are you? You know, so yeah, exactly. So let's remember where Kanye is in life as well. He's a billionaire. He has billionaire, you know, status. So he can pretty much do whatever. You know, he works with the top brands, you know, the likes of Adidas. I know he recently, what's it called? Removed himself away from Gap, I would say. Yeah. So let's say a bit of a weirdo, but you know, what is at the end of the day. Let's carry on with the video.
But is West crazy? You can judge for yourself as you watch what we're about to show you. He has his own ideas, we can say that. Creative people tend to. That's why they're artists, not actuaries. His free-form social media posts give the impression of a man channeling his rawest emotions right onto Instagram. The effect can be jarring and is often used as ammunition against him in the battle for influence over the minds of America's young people, and that battle is intense. But crazy? That was not our conclusion. In fact, we've rarely heard a man speak so honestly and so movingly about what he believes. But again, you can judge for yourself. Here it is. So you just came from Paris Fashion Week, you just landed, and the lanyard's still on from it, and there's a photograph on it. What is that?
It's a photograph of a baby's ultrasound.
Why is that? And that you designed that?
Yes.
Why? What does that mean?
It just represents life. I'm pro-life.
Boy, so you wear it on a badge. What kind of response do you get? And good, amen, I agree.
I don't care about people's responses. I care about the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point. That 50% of black death in America is abortion. So I really don't care about people's responses.
50%.
I don't even know that myself, so that's big. That's really big. Yeah. That's crazy, you know. And for me, I don't believe in abortion, you know. That's something I would never want, you know, my wife, fiance, girlfriend, whatever, to ever do, because I feel like every child is special, you know, especially in situations where you have some females who can't even have kids. So for you to even, yes, I know there are situations that, you know, I don't want to talk about right now, but there are sensitive, you know, situations where people go through that they didn't ask for this, and it just happened to be that, you know, you were at the wrong place at the wrong time, you know. So it's a 50-50 thing, isn't it? I guess. But for me, in my situation where, you know, if someone that I'm with like them, whatever, I wouldn't want them to do anything like that. But of course, you know, at the same time, abortion, it should be, I don't know, it's quite a tricky, how would I say, it's quite a tricky, I'm kind of stuck now. Yeah, it's just something hard to, you know, even talk about in general. So yeah, I might even do a podcast on it, discussion on it, and talk about, you know, bring some females in and what they think about that. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you want us to do something like that for the podcast channel as well. Yeah.
Responses. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
I'm starting to see why they want to make you be quiet. When did you start to feel this way? When did you start to realize this?
I really felt like, I think I started to really feel this need to express myself on another level when Trump was running for office and I liked him.
Yes.
And every single person in Hollywood, from my ex-wife to my mother-in-law to my manager at that time to, you know, my so-called friends / handlers around me, told me, like, if I said that I liked Trump, that my career would be over, that my life would be over. They said stuff like people get killed for wearing a hat like that. They threatened my life. They put my life.
Who remembers this hat that when he wore and it said "Make America Great Again"? You know, at the time when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is Kanye. This has to be Kanye. And yeah, and I feel like he got the reaction he got as well. So I think this is just a thing Kanye does year in, year out, try to figure out ways that he can trigger the social media, get people to talk about him. I guess it's a good market skill he's got as well, you know. Just keep his name being talked about in the world, and I guess that's how he's maintained his wealth status. And yeah, so I think maybe it's just a strategy that he likes or he knows that's how he keeps his money flowing. So yeah, let's keep going.
They basically said that I would be killed for wearing the hat. I had someone call me last night and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is going to be greenlit, and that means that they're going to beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, you know, okay, green light me then. You know, God builds warriors in a different way. I don't know if it's because of me being born in Atlanta and growing up on the south side of Chicago that, you know, he made me for such a time like this. It's like with David, you know, he tended to the sheep, but while he was out there, he had to fight all kinds of animals. So when it was time for Goliath to come, you thought because he was a sheep herder that he didn't have the skill set to take down Goliath. And the thing that I have is
I like what he did there. Obviously, relating himself to the Bible scripture and stuff like that, which is, you know, which is cool. But at the same time, he's not really in my situation. What I have in my situation, what I have a problem with him right now is like he hasn't really talked about why he has done the White Lives Matter. I know we're only like halfway into the video, but he still hasn't like said the reason why I did this is da 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 da, and I'm doing this to get what kind of attention, whatever. You know, if you know about the 5 W's, what, why, where, when, and who, I believe. So I want him to answer those, please.
I have is the position, I have my heart, but the number one thing is we have God on our side. And for the people, even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter T-shirt, which you brought out at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
You know, I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God, and just brilliance. You know, like as if you ask, like,
Kanye.
So you mean to tell me you do things from a feeling? So if I feel like saying aliens are real, maybe I should write aliens are real. Or if I feel like to say dogs have 8 legs, maybe I should write down dogs have 8 legs. Yeah. Alright, Kanye. I feel you.
These things from a feeling, apparently.
But then again, he's not thinking, is this the right way to go about it, or is this the wrong way to go about it? Is this the right time to do this? at this point, is this the right time to do this? But yeah, let's.
Tanya Harding, how she did the triple flip or the triple spin. She was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. Like, it happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format. And
I'm sorry, but that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You can't put your feelings and practice together, because yes, I understand where he's coming from. Like, practice, and then you get into a competition where it becomes second nature, basically. Like, you don't think about it. It's just muscle memories, basically, and it's just something your body just naturally just does without even instinctively, without even you thinking about it. You know, like gymnastic backflips, they do like how many backflips every training sessions. So when they go into a competition, it's just like boom, 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 boom. So, but him saying like he does things from memories and whatever, how he feels emotionally, it just doesn't relate. It's not like you're practicing, or maybe he is practicing to do things like this, you know. But what he just said, it doesn't make sense and it doesn't connect. Like, but yeah, not for me, not today.
And that's what's happening. Is God is like preparing us for the real battles. And we are in a battle with the media. Like, the majority of the media has a godless agenda, and the jokes in that work, and this whole like, oh yeah, he's crazy, and all these things, they don't work because the media has.
But you are the person that put yourself in this situation. I don't understand. You put yourself in this situation. No one asked you to do that. First of all, I don't know what. Obviously, he's basing off his emotions and he releases it out there. Maybe he just expects people to say,
Okay.
if you don't want to put yourself in a situation, then don't do it. That's a simple thing. If you provoke a reaction, you're going to get a reaction from people. I feel like he provoked a reaction to the black community by writing that, so people reacted in the way they saw that. You know, you're trying to take the mick out of us, Kanye. It's simple. If you wasn't trying to take the mick, maybe you wouldn't have done it in the first place.
You know, they've also watched travesties happen, just even specifically to me, and just watch it and act like it wasn't happening, and they stay quiet about it.
What have they?
So, I want to answer the white. Yeah. I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Harding about the White Lives Matter. You know, my dad is an educated ex-Black Panther, and he put.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I have watched what's it called? Snowfall, something like that. And I know like the Black Panther was actually a thing in the States where they had a group of gang who dressed black or blacked out and based off crime, basically. Okay, now he's going to his dad based off that, how he was treated. But what has it got to do with you? That's what I'm trying to. Yes, I understand your dad went through a situation where he was brutally beaten or whatever, treated in a way that no black person should be treated. But then again, we've kind of moved on. We're in the future now. Maybe that was like, who knows, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I don't know the time. But I just don't like how he's going around the question, like, you know, in circles. He's not really going directly to the reason why he did it, what he's trying to do, who he's trying to target, what's the last W when? Let me know, but I don't know. It's just not making sense right now, Kanye. You're not making sense.
Texted me today, said White Lives Matter, ha 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 ha. And I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny. And I said, Dad, why do you think it was funny? He said, just a black man stating the obvious.
Exactly.
And
the obvious is all lives matter, as all black people know.
you know, my dad doesn't listen to rap music, and he's like super educated. We opened up a water distribution center in the Dominican Republic together. He's like the original Steve Jobs, but he was getting blocked every which way with all of his ideas, and he didn't have an endless bank account, and he didn't have an Instagram. So all these ideas, he had to like take them back and compress them. Like, my dad is the most brilliant person that I know, and we actually have a strained relationship because I was taken from him, because my mom was an actress, so she was a liberal. And my dad would see certain things and say, you know, we should do it this way, we should do it that way. And the people got around my mom and pulled her away, much like, you know, Kim is a Christian, but she has people who want her to go to Interview magazine and put her ass out while she's a 40-something-year-old multi-billionaire with 4 black children. And this is how fashion wants to, how they want to present her. So I know you give these questions, and I give you like these 3-part answers. Is this a cool format for you?
Yeah, I love it.
Following? Okay, cool.
And I am following it.
All right.
Let me just look at his face, because the way he's so confused is exactly how I'm confused. Seriously, look at his face. Hold on.
3-part answers. Is this a cool format for you?
Yeah, I love it.
Following? Okay, cool.
Look at his face. I'm telling you, the way he's confused right now is exactly how I'm confused, because it does not make sense what you're saying, and you still haven't answered his questions. It's like, it's just like, you know what it is? I think he's just maybe just doing it because it's Kanye and people are gonna watch this interview. But he's like, bro, you still haven't answered any of my questions right now. So you're just looking at him like,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'll be stressed myself if I was doing an interview with Kanye.
Okay, cool.
And I am following it.
All right.
So you said that your father said when he saw the shirt, White Lives Matter, it's great to see a black man stating the obvious. So by which I think you meant that's obviously true.
Yeah, that's my favorite response, because I kept on thinking, like, you know, people, they're looking for an explanation, and people say, well, as an artist, you don't have to give an explanation, but as a leader, you do.
Yes, I think that's right.
So the answer to why I wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Yeah. Why do you think that's so, and I assume the implication is, of course, all lives matter because they're lives, because God created them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that that would be considered controversial?
So he's just like, let me not even say too much. Let's get into it, because how long we got left? Because this guy stressed me out already, you know.
Why do you think that's so, and I assume the implication is, of course, all lives matter because they're lives, because God created them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that that would be considered controversial?
Because the same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black and the vernacular that we're supposed to have. My dad grew up as a military brat.
Relating his dad
And
again.
his family moved around, but they were based mostly in Delaware. And at the time, if they weren't the only black family, they were one of the few. And he would be discriminated against because he was black. So by the time he got into college, he would be discriminated against. He went to a black college, he would be discriminated against because they said he talked too white.
Yes.
And then he played the kick drum in the band. So when he would go to the club and the music was playing, where would he clap his hands? Where the kick drum is.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite of where everyone else was clapping their hands. And
I'm confused. Let me know.
this is
Let me
the
know in the
most
comments. Sorry, I'm confused. Let me know in the comments what you thought about that, because I'm confused. And the fact that it just keeps relaying his dad's past, what he went through, and it's not connecting to any of the questions or answering any of the questions. And so yeah, let me know, guys. Yeah, because I'm confused at this point.
elegant and tasteful person that I know. And when my mom, when the school suggested like the herding systems, because what they do is take the black community and they separate us, and they separate the families, and the educated, they push this, need for higher education, and us as blacks, we discriminate against each other and say, well, I got my PhD and you don't have your PhD, so I'm better than you. And so my mom, she had a PhD.
That's actually a good point he made there, because obviously people used to judge off their knowledge based off education, and which is cool, it shows how educated and how well, intellectual you are. But at the same time, I don't feel like you should put anyone down. I think I still see in today's society, like I remember when I was maybe in secondary school, especially, you have bottom set, middle sets, and then top sets, obviously. And for top set to come down to bottom set, to even have a genuine conversation, it's just like, I don't know, they looked upon as, the less fortunate, I would say. But at the same time, I guess we live in a society where, everyone is put in a box of where you're more brighter, you're more smart, so you need to go over there. And yeah, so I know I'm waffling on this one, but I hope you get me what I'm trying to say. I feel like we should treat everyone equally, regardless of their difficulties in learning. Some people just take longer than others to catch up, and then some people just catch things in first hand. So I hope I kind of give a good input on this segment of this video, where he talked about a PhD and his mom and different class and all that.
She was influenced to move to the south side of Chicago and take this job at Chicago State University. And she told my dad, if you come for us, you'll never see him again. Because, the media ridiculed me for getting the house next door to Kim to see my children. And they even said that I was stalking her and her new boyfriend because I bought the house next door to see my children. And that's how I knew that my mom had said that to him. I said, Dad, they moved us to one of the most agreed upon to be one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's almost like they tried to kill me or something. I said, Dad, why'd you never come to get us? And that's when he told me that she was told that. There's so many things that are put in Kim's head. They bring influencers, like no one ever knew where Corey Gamble came from. No one in the fashion world knows where Gabby came from. These people were practically made in a laboratory, in my opinion. And one of the
I feel like he's given some kind of inside information on this one that I'm not even aware of myself. So he might know a lot of things. It might also explain why he terminated his contract with Gap as well. I've seen on social media. So it's quite interesting him kind of touching on that. So maybe there's a reason to his actions to why he doesn't want to work with Gap. So hopefully, we get the full story behind it, and I can react to it as well.
One of the things that they're really good at doing is being nice and being likable. And what they do is for people that have some form of influence, whether it's an educated black woman like my mother that became the head of the English department at Chicago State University, or whether it's the most influential white woman on the planet, being my ex-wife, they have people that are around them at all times telling them what to be afraid of. It's like not what to do or say specifically, it's what to be afraid of. And if you have a person that isn't afraid of them, you know, like a Russell Brand or Candace Owens.
Right.
Or, it's not that we have to agree with this, but
they're not afraid.
They're not afraid to state what their opinion is.
Yes.
No one is God, and everyone has an opinion. So,
Yes, people, as you can see, I think that was actually a good little segment to the full interview. I might actually leave the full interview in the description below. For me, in my opinion, I'll give a little the conclusion, or however you want to say it. I feel like he still hasn't kind of answered the main questions to why he took this approach, or what is the reason behind this White Lives Matter, because everyone understands why, you know, why lives matter, and all lives matter, in fact, you know. But I feel like the whole George Floyd and other things that led to that, for us to protest and kind of just explosion, I would say, it's the reason of how we've been treated as black people, honestly. And I feel like it was a time where it was like enough is enough kind of thing, and I feel like he hasn't taken that on board. And I feel like, and I know he's recently watched the George Floyd documentary video. He's kind of done another podcast on it, and I might even do another reaction video on that and talk and see, you know, maybe he might have changed his opinion on things and stuff like that. So I feel like Kanye is Kanye. That's something we just have to accept in this world. But yeah, people, I just want to say a big thank you. Keep subscribing, keep commenting, and yeah, let me know what you think of this video. And if this is your first time, please don't forget to comment, like, share. You know, I want to try to hit 100 subscribers by the end of this year, people. Yeah, so yeah, stay on the look for the next reaction video, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Peace out.